I'm not being paid enough. So how do I get to the next level? Or I got to do training here. Or I got to go to a conference here. Or I got to work on the weekends. Or I'm just going to, make a post or whatever you're doing. You want to make sure that your efforts are valuable. So I think that's going to, eventually get you where you want to go, because it's about the mastery. Like Jay, he was reading, he was grinding, he was educating, and you don't master anything overnight.
That's on everything. That's on everything. If you want the latest news and the greatest views, tune into the Central Podcast, the one of my favorite crews, because the entrepreneurs who grew up together, now they created this show to make the community better. Speaking on being leaders, strong husbands and fathers, role models for our sons and our daughters, to business ownership. Like forget a building, you could own the strip. The squad holding it down as Jay Norris with C. Nick, T-Rel and B. Hicks. So what y'all want to hear about? Like Hail Marys, they gonna air it out. So kick back and listen, they gonna set it, man. You're gonna be enlightened, and that's on everything. That's on everything. That's on everything. They are here to heal the people like Dr. Sebi, man. That's on everything. They celebrate success, so raise a toast with them and watch the confetti rain. That's on everything. 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 That's on everything.
All right, word up. Here we go. Y'all ready?
Yep, we ready.
Let's get it.
All right, word up. This is C. Nick, joined by T. Reed, B. Hicks, and Mr. Health and Wealth himself, Jay Norris. What it do, fellas?
What it do? What's cracking?
What up?
Welcome to another episode of That's on Everything podcast, where we give you everything that you need and nothing that you don't. And that's on everything.
That's on everything.
That's on everything. So, man, before we kick it off, well, first of all, everybody, welcome back to That's on Everything podcast. Let's just go around the horn real quick, check in. I love being on the mic with you fellas, but, I just want to check in personally and see what's going on. First of all, we're going to start with Bruce, because I see this man got a new background. So he must have been shopping or something. What's going on?
That
dude
shopping
there, son.
He's spending money. Like a raw special right there.
What's new with you, son?
Is that New York? Is that Queens?
Is that Lansing? Is that the Lansing Bridge? What is that?
Nah. Our bridges ain't that fancy. I like Queens.
You gotta get like a water and light poster over there.
How do you leave a meeting on this thing, bro?
Got a Chris shirt on, white Central shirt.
Hey man, I got the picture for like $9 at Home Goods, man.
Okay.
So I got tired of everybody clowning me.
I
look like I'm keeping mine from prison cell.
You know what I mean? It did look like an interrogation room for a little bit.
On the first 48. Oh god.
Somebody getting some chips.
I swear it's still empty. I'm still working on that. So Home Goods, that's where I need to go.
Up, please do. All right,
$9.99 at Home Goods, huh? Can I get the same picture?
I'm sure they mass produce these.
Word up. Well, what's new with you, man? Anything new?
Oh man, had a lot going on this week, man. First off, was able to take off some quality time, spend it with the family for Easter. That was amazing. We just had a great time, man. No work, no anything, just family. So that was real good. We ate well. Yeah, what else happened?
Life.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
His whole life.
Shut down.
Rough out here.
All right, we're gonna go to the next caller. We can't have dead air. We can see and hear you.
What did I do? Any
Right,
new projects?
Come back to you.
Yeah, hit me back, man. I didn't have my planner on front. Like,
ain't nobody toilets get clogged. Ain't nobody, ain't no evictions going on.
Oh man. Yeah, you're always gonna have, work. But
he was like, oh yeah, that stuff.
So yeah, work obviously is crazy. Oh, well, the good thing is, we went ahead and finished up 2 flips. So
congratulations.
We're one actually tomorrow. So that's very good news. And
doubt.
that's a payday. So I'm really excited about that. The
Yeah, they
other,
make that
uh,
bread.
yeah,
Word up.
yeah. We
Get you
accepted.
some more pictures on the wall now.
I can't do that, man. Right? Ross only let you buy one picture a week.
No, I want you to get the little metal plaque like they do in the museums and just put New York City up underneath it.
I'm gonna do anything. 'Cause I'm gonna go.
Artists unknown.
Yeah.
I have my Y'all see. You'll see it on the once I go ahead and start redecorating the office. You'll see where we go. But no, man, we had a very good week professionally. Very very good week professionally. So yeah, we bought one last week. A great deal. Very good. Bought it at 18. I think I got to put maybe like 10 into it. And probably put it on the market 70, 75. And it'll go very easily. Very easily, about 4 weeks worth of work. So
Nice.
that one is good. So yeah, last week we hit it out the park professionally.
Word up.
Personally, my baby girl started her soccer league again, so we're really excited about that. All the kids had great weeks at school. So yeah, family was great too. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, let's check in the dirty South. Jay, no, what's good? What was your high? What was your low over the last couple of weeks? What's good?
Oh man. So yeah. Man, last week was good. Because first off, it was my last week in corporate America. So I'm off the corporate plantation.
What? Say
Nice.
what?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, straight up. Look, I even saved the email I sent. I took a screenshot of it. Because
You got to see that.
I had because I sent it and then I was thinking about it I had saw somebody on IG was like, yeah, she was like, I printed out the letter of resignation. And by the time they hadn't purged me from the email yet. So I was like, let me hurry up and go back in the email and take a screenshot of it. So I took a screenshot of that. But yeah, so it's a wrap, full-time investor, entrepreneur, trader, speaker, financial
Congrats.
empowerment coach, what I'm saying, the whole nine. So that's what I'm doing with my life these days. It was
Man,
Easter Sunday.
how's
Go
it
ahead.
feel waking up
Yo,
without having to answer that phone, get those emails?
bruh.
And we know this has been your plan for years, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
how's it feel to make that happen?
Man, it's like a weight that is just off your shoulders, especially on. I was just telling somebody else, like Sunday night. It's like around 5 o'clock. It's like mentally, you got to start getting ready. You know what I mean? So, and I was it was like late, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like I don't have to like prepare. Like I don't have to check no emails and see what I got to do in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to make sure my car stock is right. I ain't got to write these doctors' names that I got to go see. So it was just like, yo, all I got to do is get up and look at these charts.
Right. You know what
And
it's like? It's like waking up and thinking your mom and dad, and you say, "Mama," and you realize everybody gone. You got the house to yourself.
yeah. So
It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, it's a different feeling, man, which is good because now I get to do what I want to do and not what I have to do. So it's a beautiful feeling. And Easter was this weekend. We did the Easter egg hunt, and which was man, they ripped us off. So they had the Easter egg
not
hunt.
the church, right? This one, the church.
No,
wasn't
not
it?
the church. They had
Let's be
because
clear.
they got organizations that have Easter egg hunts throughout the city. You know what I'm saying? So they publicize it. So we went to the Mississippi Ag Museum. Now, mind you, you can go to the Ag Museum and visit like all these historical stuff. You can walk outside for free.
For the
They
free.
they charging, $8 per person to do something that you was already going to do for free.
How much was the charge? I'm curious.
No, it was $8 a person.
Oh, man.
Right. So
Wow.
it was crazy because my wife was like, I had to meet him there. They was like, all right, I already got your ticket. So I walked up and I was like, yeah, where y'all at? And then, she was like, oh, we around here by the general store, like kind of like an old school setup. And I was like, so what we pay for again? Because I was like, I just walked like from my car to y'all.
So
And
could
they-
you,
and
no, I'm not.
I was
I'm
like,
not part of that today.
yeah, with no wristbands. Like they ain't, when you went into the old schoolhouse, they ain't ask you for nothing. I was just like, and it was 5 of us. You know what I'm saying?
Donations.
So I was just like,
So I wonder if they was really charging. It was just a dude there like, yeah, that'd be $8.
So you walked up and say he has risen, and so has the price.
You walked inside the registration building, paid $8, then walked back outside.
Wow.
Like that's how it was. So they got us.
You got licked.
So what you're saying is you're not going next year.
No, I'm not. I can just put some eggs outside in the backyard.
Hey, you can start your own hustle.
I'm about to
Charge
say,
$7.
Right,
Yeah,
we
you
just
know
got to
what I'm
get a space.
Hey, I'm gonna just
$7.99.
print some flyers and pass them around here to the HOA. And you know what I'm
Look
saying?
here, Chief. That chitlin loaf.
Go on, Smooth. Don't come on rough.
Oh, come on, bro.
Like, how much is it? $15, Chief. Ain't me no $15.
Woo. Well, that's good, man. You got some family time in. I know baby girl definitely appreciated that and had fun.
Yeah.
So it was worth. It was probably worth, the $5 that you paid. So.
Well, it was good. I had my twin boys up here as well. You know what I'm saying? So that was always a plus.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they coming into their own and about to start the last 2 years. Miles going to start the last 2 years. He worked on his bachelor's, and then Malcolm is about to start his bachelor's at USM. So he's getting his own apartment and everything. So I was like, make sure you holler at the military, because like once you sign that lease, you need to make sure that the income covers, because your name is gonna be on the lease. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Check with everybody in the military land, in the Air Force land. Make sure your coins is coming.
Word up. All right. Well, let's swing. Let's keep it in the dirty South and see what was popping in Tampa. What was the high and the low over there, baby?
Man, the high was about 100 if you're talking about the weather. The low was about 100 if you're talking about the weather. It's hot down here, but it's beautiful. Like everybody else, man. Good week, Easter weekend. Spent some time with the family. The kids were off on Friday, so we hung out. Work is always good and busy. I got a bunch of projects going with these new stores coming, so we staying busy with that. But at the crib, man, really just a bad episode of do it yourself. DIY going wrong. And Bruce told me I should have just paid, and Jay, all y'all told me just pay the $5. You don't need to cut these trees, bro. So y'all know the
palm
story,
trees. Let's be exact.
These ain't no regular trees.
So
ain't no
just
twigs.
so everybody know, I got these huge giant palm trees in around the house, right? They're probably 20 feet tall, maybe taller. So, but we needed to trim them up, and needed to trim up the oak trees. And I mean, it was just gonna cost me a grip to do it. In my mind, what the guy was trying to charge me, it was gonna cost me more than what I was willing to spend. So went out, bought a saw, got the ladder, all the tools, got the other little tool to get way up high, and spent, had the kids was ready to help and jump in on this project with me, which I'm usually jumping all in when I jump into something. So I was ready, and about 30 minutes in, I lost all my help.
Wow.
You know what
Daddy,
I mean?
I'm thirsty.
Gone. Hey, can I get those Robux? I helped. Gone. Kids gone.
You paid up front.
Wife inside looking out the window, taking pictures of me outside, trying to drag these trees.
You know how the wife be watching you work, talking to somebody else? Yeah, girl, he out there. I don't know what he's doing.
Talking about that would have been good content if I should have took more pictures. Like, no, I need help. I got the content. But we got it done though. We did get it done, man. But it was what I thought was gonna be a couple of hours of work was like a whole Friday, Saturday morning, trimming these trees up. But I did have a good time doing it, and I learned a lot about what I can and cannot do. So
that's always good to know.
Yeah. Didn't
So
save a dime.
does that go in the I can? I cannot, or I will never again.
I can, but I will not.
No, I think the beautiful
Respect.
thing about doing like projects like that in manual labor, you realize what the value is now and what you're willing to pay.
100%.
Because like when I had to clean the rugs, like I had some cats come before, but when I did it, of course, I moved everything out the way, beds, dressers, soaking up all the water, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll pay that again. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I did it right, but I was like, I'll pay that. I'll pay the $5 on that one just to free up my time because I could have been doing something else more productive.
Oh man, I wasted 2 whole days. I could have done a whole lot.
And then you say by the time you equaled it out, it was.
I ain't saying nothing.
Because you said, did you rent a saw or you bought a saw?
I bought a saw because the cost of rent.
See, now you in the hole.
So, and like I told TJ, he was like, "Why don't you just rent it?" Because we were at Home Depot, and he's like, "Let's look at it." We looked at the rental. It was $65 a day. I knew I wasn't gonna get it done in a day, so I'm like, "So that's 2-day rental." I'm like, "Man, for $200, I'll just go get the saw." So we made that decision. Bought the pole saw. Probably should have got a little hand saw or something too, because it was kind of awkward doing the short trees with the pole saw. But even he knew, and I knew that we weren't built for it, because when he had to I got to get the oil and all this stuff for the saw, and he was like, "Why don't you get the big bucket?" I'm like, "Man, we probably gonna use this thing one time."
Well, that's a rental right there.
Well, no, I own that.
Better put that boy on Craigslist.
And I got the Ryobi battery, so that's worth at least $50.
Yeah,
you know what you need to do?
Sell it to
When
your guy.
he comes back next year, be like, "Hey, listen, man, I just go ahead and throw the saw in, knock $50 on it. Get this about the garage, man. My wife on my head, bro."
Yeah, especially if it's just taking up space. Like now you got some products you can sell to the next guy doing the job.
I get like that though. I remember when I first, I had the guy cutting my grass before. And a year goes by, I'm like, man, I looked at what I paid him. So I didn't bought like 5 lawnmowers, paying this dude to cut my grass. So then I went and you know me, I'm all in. I went and bought the lawnmower, I bought a blower, I bought the weed eater, all that. Told my man, like, I got it. He was like, all right. He goes, just hit me up when it start getting hot again. And then he started checking on me like, hey, I see you been getting it. You see you getting the front. You want me to hit that edge for you? Like, yeah, just come by and do the edges for me.
He's back in there.
And then he was like, I see you cut the front, but you ain't do nothing in the back. So yeah, man, why don't you go knock it out for me? And now he back.
Look, he was riding by every day like Snoop and Baby Boy. Like, yeah.
You should have dropped the flyer in your mailbox.
No, it sounded like he rolled up like a big boy in ATL. He's like, "What I tell you? It's grown man business." Bam! He spilled the whole milk on himself.
But gotta learn. Trying to save a buck, but
Yeah, sometimes it's better to go ahead and pay for that time, man, because you end up in a situation, because that sounded like it was defeat from the very beginning.
Anytime your son looking at you like, I think we should just rent this boy.
It's like I've never seen you do nothing like this before.
Wow.
That's what he thinking. Like, this is going to be crazy.
Man,
I can dig it.
How about you, CeeLo? What was you up to cracking?
Hey, man. Well, first of all, we celebrated Easter like everybody else, but really, we had a B-Day bash. The wifey, we celebrated another trip around the sun. Friday night, Saturday night, and really into Easter. Like, we had a kickback with some friends. So yeah, we was whining and dining. We was celebrating.
Okay. It sounded like it would have kept on going if it weren't for Jesus.
Hey, it don't never stop, baby. We always celebrating. Every day is a blessing.
Y'all going to keep the party going.
No, but we had a good time. Met some of her crew from the gym. She's on this run for the Olympia, so that was good to meet some of the peeps. And then we did dinner down in the city, and it's had a nice time out on the town. So that was pretty good. But also, I was very excited because the playoffs started, and man, just to have that time off. I didn't know what to do myself. Like yesterday, I was out there just laying on the patio watching the games, watching James Harden and the boys work. So it was good. It was good. That time off, like, just came in handy. Like Easter Monday, don't know what it is. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's
I think it's the day they
you.
removed the tomb or he left the tomb or whatever. But hey,
It's
on the calendar.
That
That ain't the day.
That's a
Hold
new
on.
I'm
So
one.
telling you.
did y'all have Easter? Was y'all kids off on Easter Monday?
My kids
So
went
the
to school.
schools are out. School districts were out Good Friday and Easter Monday.
That's crazy. That,
So
this
Easter's
is
on
new.
a Sunday, the day he rose, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to the tomb, which is like the next day. I guess that's why we get off Easter Monday.
But then they just start that because I
That's
ain't
new.
never
And
never
I-
heard of
and-
Easter Monday.
It
Yeah,
might be,
always
it might
Good
be in the
Friday.
new King James. I don't know, or that new invitational.
Like so, this is like this is on the calendar now. Like this
It's on
government.
I had it off. It's on my calendar. Because actually, it was funny because I was arguing with Jace. I was telling him, well, yeah, you got Monday off. And he was like, no, we got Friday off too. And I was like, let me see. Oh, you do? And then it said, the billboard outside of school said Friday off and Monday. And I was like, I don't know what Monday's about, but I'm taking them both off.
It's that pandemic, God.
So it was just handy, man.
That pandemic, man.
It was just handy, like, with the B-Day
Yeah,
bash and then,
pandemic holiday.
Easter. It was just beautiful, man. It was
Well,
beautiful.
you had another monumental occasion happen, right? Some with the baby girl.
Oh, we're talking about that paycheck.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
paycheck.
right. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, my oldest child, Kylie, she got her first job and finally got her first paycheck. And we worked out the whole pay stub situation because we working on this budget, so she can plan out her money.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, teenagers, they work, so she got all her money and she saved, which was good. I can see when she put in the savings, but then she ran through the rest of the funds and hit me up. Was like, I'm gonna need $30. I was like, oh, you got your own money, son. But yeah, it was good. It was good. She got her first paycheck. Was that
Kind of like both ours.
right? Kind
like
of. Let's just keep it in my account.
It's like I thought you just had $300. I do, but I wouldn't spend red money.
And that's what she did. And I hesitated. And I was like, I guess I'm gonna help you out this time because gas is so high. I made her pay for her gas like for the first time, so she can understand it's real.
So you can
But
feel
gas
it.
is like $4. So she was like, gas is so expensive. I was like, I know.
And that's just
To get
because I'm
your-
only
your
going where I
car.
need to go. Like
Exactly.
Yeah,
when
correct.
your girl's like, "Can you run me?" Hey, just like back in the day, EV, I'm gonna need 5, cuz.
5
And this
ain't
is-
getting you nothing
Yeah,
now.
Bruce
bro.
was charging $5 when gas was 88 cents. Yo, this dude had
To
a
my
full tank
time.
for 2 weeks.
My time, bro. There's a time value in there.
Hey,
I
like,
gotta drive you.
like Corey said, ain't nobody going up saying, "Let me get $5 on pump 2." Like $5. What if I got? Like, what they going?
What are you driving? A lawnmower?
Dog,
Get my tip gas.
I would feel so bad if I seen somebody getting a couple dollars of gas. I'll probably.
Bro, I see it all the
I
time.
just have to
I
get
don't
some
hear
gas.
it.
I buy some
Really?
gas, dog.
I
Yo,
never hear
the
it.
Admiral, I'm gonna start taking pictures and posting it. The Admiral on Holmes and Waverly, where you get the the Shastas. You
Right.
understand?
You can't even like the gas price is so high. You can't even pay with cash no more.
Like,
You
how do you?
have to have a card because you're gonna be out there waiting, looking at the price run up. Like Bruce
Yeah.
said, he said his gas tank burped and drunk $40 more. It was like, yeah, let me get some more of that.
Man, I almost let you pull off on me, cuz.
You know what I'm saying?
Thirsty in the
Wow,
month.
son.
Yeah, man. Nah,
You
dude,
know
I have
what?
seen people literally go there and get like $2 worth of gas, bro. When you don't even get a
Where are
like
you
a
going?
That ain't going nowhere. You didn't even get a gallon.
no, you're here. Wherever you're going, you already here. Son.
Like, you got to be
$2 call
so
somebody.
skilled at stopping the pump to pump that amount of gas, dog. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And if that's all you got, what if you go over by 50 cents? Like you ain't got it. Yo, come on, son.
You ain't, look, you be
My man, my man tell you,
you be stuttering the gas pump.
You might as well just leave.
You be
You just gotta go.
It's like I need $20 exactly.
hey,
You
my
might as well
man
fill
tell
up
you,
and
like,
leave.
hey, bro, you're gonna have to watch the pump because it don't stop before you get to $5. You gotta watch the pump.
Like, man.
No, you gotta prepay. If you got
That's what I'm
you gotta
saying.
go in there
Like,
like I got
the prepaid don't-
$2.87.
prepaid It don't kick in until you get to $5, bro. You gotta watch it.
He said you can't prepay with $2, dog.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Yeah, man, our gas pumps don't work like that. So
bruh.
I'm just gonna add yours to the other dude in front of you, and y'all link up.
Like, man,
Hey, my
just
man, give him $2 in gas.
did you bring a cup?
Whew. That's terrible. That's
Ah,
terrible.
Just lying in the gas tank with
bruh.
that.
Okay, we gotta get to the content. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. I mean, like I said, we had a lot of free time
Ah,
scrolling. Didn't post a lot this weekend, but I saw T Rail, man, drop some jewels about the workplace and the value that you bring to the workplace. So I kind of want to kick it off with that. And I know you had a beautiful quote that I did not memorize, so I'm gonna let you hit the people with that, and then we can unpack it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So really, it was along the lines of all the things that we're talking about here when you talk about just value in general, for services, for goods, for experiences. And I just posed a question to the community that said, does over delivering with value also mean you're underpaid? Um, and I'll give you my take on that before we kind of go around the horn and get y'all's. But my take is I'd rather be underpaid, adding value, and always looking up to what's next versus being overpaid, overvalued, and expendable. Now, obviously, my experiences are, in business in corporate America and always, climbing and elevating. So that's always my thought. Like, I take being underpaid, knowing that there's something next and something more for me to get to, versus being the one that's looked at like, we got to make some cuts. T ain't been delivering. We paying him big money. He might, we might need to get somebody else that opportunity for half the price. So that's just my thought on it. What y'all think?
okay.
Well, let's go to Jace. He just jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. So let's see what he
Yeah.
has to say.
So that's a unique situation because of course no one wants to be just in the workforce. Period. No one wants to be underpaid. Period. Because if you're underpaid, and you don't like you said, you rather be underpaid, undervalued because you're looking for the next opportunity. But if you're underpaid and you garbage, then you're gonna always feel like, you know, like you're not getting your just due,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're gonna always feel that way. But like you said, to somebody who's like, well, I'm not worried about this level because I'm trying to go to the next level anyway. I know what's at the next level. But what do you do for that person? How do you satisfy that person that is complacent at that level, even though you ain't gonna make no more than this?
Yeah.
Like, how do you, because that person is essentially, dispensable, but you just gonna bring in somebody else that's probably has the same mindset. Because if you think about like you in the restaurant business, and when I managed, Waffle House, I knew the caliber of individual that I was going to bring into that position. And every now and then you get a diamond in the rough, like, man, you leadership material, you management material, what have
Mm-hmm.
you. But I think that's kind of like it's just a fine line, but it just really depends. Like in me personally, even with the last job I had, like, so I was a territory sales specialist, but because of my resume, I was the highest paid territory specialist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I took that on purpose. I like, as far as the salary wise, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to be here. I could have, you know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
like, when it was like, I was like, dude, I need, like, as far as these other TSS, like, I got the most experience. So y'all gotta break me off, right? They'd be like, I bet, but we need these numbers, blah, blah, blah. But I was just maximizing my salary for the time that I was going to be there because I knew I was exiting. You know what I'm saying?
But me knowing you also maximize your performance. Like, your performance never took a back seat because you got the bag. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. I wasn't
It was.
I wasn't
I know
loafing.
that
Yeah.
Jackson territory was up at the top.
Correct. Yeah. We stayed in the top 10. We stayed in the top 10. So like my performance never lacked luster. I can tell you this, I wasn't going above and beyond
Yeah.
per se, but you ain't never have to question my numbers or my performance because I knew that I had, in order to build what I built now, I knew I had to maintain a certain status quo to get to that point. But like I said, my situation is totally different. But you got individuals, like I said, that they don't see anything past that position.
Nope.
They don't see anything past that position. Because the people that do, they're not even worried about that. That's why like they the best employees, because they know they're getting looked at. They know they're getting promoted. They know they have opportunity. And everybody else is just like, and then now the other individuals that's complaining, like, why they always getting looked at? Why they always getting promoted? It's like, well, you complaining about something that you can do something about, but you ain't doing it.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, and what inspired the post, the reason why I even put that out there was, you know, I'm traveling around and I'm visiting my restaurants, and it's inevitable that when people see me, they are going to want to have that conversation about, hey, what can I do? I'm trying to get a little bit more. Everybody always wants a raise. And my excuse me. And my response is usually like, you know, you will always be in this business, you're always going to be underpaid. Like, because if you're getting overpaid in the restaurant business, then I'm telling you, then you're on the block, because that's just, that's me being honest with folks. Like, hey, you're never going to get, and it's not underpaid based on our standards. It's underpaid based on your own personal value for yourself. Like,
Right.
you always going to feel like you worth more than what you're getting, but that should push you to want to do more, add more value. And that's what I was trying to explain to my folks is, hey, you earn more by finding ways to add more value to the business, because we make what we make. You want more. How are we going to make more so that you can get more? And, you know, that's kind of where that came from. And, but you're right. And there's some folks that, you know, keep the head down, always working, always busting that butt, because they want to prove that they can do more. And I was that person. I never once in my career ever asked for a raise, ever. But people ask me for raises literally every time they see me.
So let me ask you on the raise tip. You said you never asked for a raise because you felt like you were being adequately compensated, or
Your work spoke for itself.
Because
Exactly.
I felt like I could prove it with the work.
Word.
And because, and then at a certain point it became, you know, you get to a position where you're tied into the profits, or, you know, some kind of profit share or bonus or something like that. So there's your raise right there. You can literally prove it with your work and be compensated for the extra effort.
I got you. So check this out then. So because you're looking at two different kind of employees, because you just mentioned like now you're kind of vested into the company. You maybe have some profit sharing or what have you. So you have like some type of commission structure.
Yeah.
So you have a vested interest in making sure that this business does well. But if I'm just on fries,
That's where the big bucks starts rolling in.
and I'm getting paid, you know what I'm saying, $12 an hour, you know, whatever the going rate is, like how do you make sure that even though I don't have that commission structure or profit sharing, that I'm providing the best effort? Because like you said that you're never going to get paid what you're worth. And I believe that. I think if you're working for anybody
If
in
you're working
corporate,
for somebody,
if you're
you
working
ain't
for
getting.
somebody, you're never going to get paid what you're worth. That's just what it is. It has nothing to do with, like you said, the system or you. That's just the way that it's designed. So now for somebody at a lower level position, so I'm getting paid, you know, $15 an hour. I'm gonna do what I need to do to get this $15 an hour. But if I feel like I need to get more money, then I need to do more. So now I'm providing more effort. So now I'm being quote unquote overworked, so I can potentially get that raise and move to that next level. So it's almost like, you know, you have to jump out there and become overworked, take on more assignments just to get recognized, to now, you know, now I can move up to that higher pay ranking, if you will.
Yeah.
And then when I get to that level, I gotta do some more work. So it's almost like you chasing the carrot in a sense.
Well, that's corporate America, right?
Yeah.
Word.
but I would answer that because, you know, there are those folks that put the work in, they give the effort. And I would say before you try to overwork yourself, try to find ways to have just think in the mindset of adding value. It doesn't necessarily mean you got to be putting in more time or more hours, because more hours will get you more pay, but you're going to burn yourself out. But you can find a way to help somebody, go up to learn from somebody that's in a position above you. Hey, what can I do? What can I learn? What can I take off of your plate? I was always a fan of always the person that was, I'm going to make sure that my boss is successful so I can get to my boss's job. I'm going to do what I can to make sure this person that is leading me is successful. And that's a hard thing to swallow, because you essentially end up doing somebody's job that you ain't getting paid for, right? Until you get to that point. And that's a hard thing for some folks to swallow, right? I've had people that work for me that made more money than me in some situations. That's been a thing. But because I was diligent, more opportunities presented itself. You just got to stay focused on what the goal is. And sometimes it's like that for a month. Sometimes it's like that for a year. But if you got the right people leading you and they recognize that, then they start providing opportunities for you. So I always tell folks, look, I respect the person that comes to me and says, T, what can I do to earn more, to add more value so that I can put myself in a better position? Because then I'm more inclined to give that person some milestones, or give them some tasks like, hey, start working with so-and-so and learning how to count inventory. Start spending some time over here. Hey, split some shifts. Come work at one of this store over here on the other side of town, because they're really good at taking care of the maintenance, and you can add value and to add more profit by understanding the maintenance and and care for the equipment. So people love to be developed, and the money is great, because that's the measuring stick. But when it comes to adding value, just learning and developing, like I was thinking about it the other day, even Corey, who's not in our field, but he's doing his thing in corporate America. This man went and took Six Sigma training to make himself better, not to add anything other than better knowledge and understanding for what he's doing personally. Like, that's the kind of diligence it takes to be, to be the person that gets to the next level by adding value to yourself.
Facts.
Word up. So let me jump in real quick, and then we're gonna bring it over to Bruce. I think the main thing, that I liked, and I will piggyback off what you said, T-Rail, is value. It's all about value. And I think the way you posed the question was being overworked but underpaid. What was that option two?
It said, does over delivering value make you underpaid?
Come on, man. We can see you.
I mean, it does.
Hey,
It does. But
right?
I think yes, of course. But I think there's so much, again, to use that term, value, what T was breaking down. It's like, you mentioned like the training and stuff like that. It's about that journey, right? Because at the end of the day, you personally, whether it's corporation or you working for a small LLC, professional, whatever, you got to start somewhere. And then it's about that journey, climbing that, as they say, the corporate ladder. And, you're going to look, if you're self, motivated or go getter, right? You're looking to move to the next level, or, like Jake, for example, he's basically used the 9 to 5 as a training camp or ground to learn all these skill sets, and then say, I'm going to take this and start my own thing. So it's like, at the end of the day, the value is always going to be in the work that you put in, for the company, for the 9 to 5 on a daily basis, developing those skill sets, being organized, networking, so that's going to either push you to the next level, or you're going to feel like, I'm not being paid enough. So how do I get to the next level? Or I got to do training here, or I got to go to a conference here, or I got to work on the weekends, or I'm just going to, make a post, or whatever you're doing. You want to make sure that your efforts are valuable. So I think that's going to, eventually get you where you want to go, because it's about the mastery, like Jay, he was reading, he was grinding, he was educating, and you don't master anything overnight, but that if you in that 9 to 5, you in corporate America, it could be a training ground for the next move. Now, whether that's outside of corporate America, or, are you the CEO, or are you a president? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know that every CEO is worth what they're getting paid, but
Right.
But it could be the VP or the guy under him, like T was saying, that's doing all the real work. And he's probably thinking to himself, man, I should be CEO in a year or two, or the next 2, or maybe 5, or whatever it is. So he knows that he's bringing value, but if there's cuts, he's at that top of the food chain where he might get sliced just because that's corporate America, that's reorg, right?
Right.
But he knows that he know how he built it. He knows he has certain skill set. He's mastered certain things. So I don't know if it's the pressure of getting fired, but it's more about, okay, I learned this. Let me reflect. Now I can take all these skill sets and go to another spot. Because like T was saying, you never asked for a raise, which is fine. I never asked for a raise. But when you leave, it seems like you get more money, when you're negotiating that. And that's when you really get to say, well, this is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. This is what I learned. These are my skills. Matter of fact, here go my brag book.
Yep.
And now you can say, this is what I'm worth. I'm going to tell you, if you want me to put it on in a dollar amount, here's what I, in my mind, based on the market and the benchmarks and the comps and what I've accomplished, this is what I'm worth. And then you get to negotiate that. So that's how you probably would get that raise. But I think, at the end of the day, whether you're, out there hustling and you feel like, man, I should be getting paid more than this cat because, he don't never work past 5. He going to the happy hour. Or I've been doing this and this. Like, I guess the advice would be not to be disgruntled, but really lean into the journey and know that, yeah, but in 2 years, you're going to learn Six Sigma. You did all these sponsorship. Like you did all this work. So when a question is asked in the room, you can answer it. And they're going to be
shining.
Who's that? Who is that right there? Yeah. Okay. Now I know who this. I know. Yeah, we know. But who is that guy? Because you lived it, you breathed it, you put in the blood, sweat, and tears. So whether you're getting that, that actual cash value, no, but you're getting something more valuable, and that's skills that's going to transfer you, higher in a company, or it's going to lead you down a path to say, you know what, I think I can go out and do my own thing and get my own clients and build my own business. So to me, it's always, some value built into what you're doing. You just got to be optimistic and not, like you said, complaining and, man, they want me to come work the booth. Like, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity, my guy.
Yeah,
and I think that's the problem. People start, like, I've been here for, I've been with my company for 16 years. So I seen coming in as a rookie, people that was already there for like 15 years. And it was like, oh, they wanted us to do that. And I was like, I don't need to ride with you then, because I'm trying to learn. So when the questions get asked, I can ask the questions. Or, when the recognition, that's another thing. It might be, a bonus or, a Christmas party. And then just hearing out of the CEO's mouth or the president or the VP, unsung hero, I want to tell you about this young guy right here that's a up and coming star. Like that sometimes has more currency than your actual paycheck.
Oh, yeah. Because other people see that too. And then they establish a value on you. So it becomes an opportunity,
and they start raising your value because they be like, yeah, T, man, I'm trying to tell you,
and then the phone start ringing. I've lived it.
Word up.
Nah, you're absolutely right.
All right, let's swing it down to up to L Town over here to my man B Hicks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let me have T break it down again, those two options for the people, and then we'll have you respond.
So the question was, does over delivering on value also mean you're underpaid? So would you rather be underpaid or overvalued?
Makes sense. And the crazy thing about it is I don't have any adult experience in the corporate world. So this question is kind of loaded for me because I think I have a couple of months with the state of Michigan.
Oh, that was all you? I thought you was there for at least a year.
I mean, it might have been a year.
We can see.
Hey, when you serving a life sentence, bro, you just.
I can tell you, I seen him in that
underpaid.
I seen him in that suit one time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
not the blue suit, was it?
No, he had the pink shirt on with the gray boy.
Yo, side note, real quick. I don't want Bruce ever to come to my job because Bruce is the type of cat that will come to your job and tell you how to do your job, tell your boss how to do their job, and what you need, what you're not doing right. Yo, this dude told the limo driver how to drive the limo.
He was back there like, see how she turning.
We was like, yo, let her drive the limo. That's what she
Hey,
does.
do your job. Don't allow somebody else to come in and add value to your position, because then they're not gonna call you.
But I digress.
But those are facts, right?
I didn't
So,
notice.
nah, I mean it's really hard because you know, my career was the US Army. So you always put out maximum effort
Word.
for minimal pay. I mean, there are no monetary it's a promotion. That's it.
Right.
Right? So I mean, we hand out badges for a lot of things. So you suited and booted on your chest, but in your pocket, you're always on. So, for example, our pilots, I mean, our doctors in the civilian world, 6 figures. In the U.S. Army, I live in the same neighborhood with them. What is going on? So,
but there's social currency involved with
there you go
with hitting those ranks, right, and getting those promotions.
There are, but when you're going through it, I mean, it's a struggle. Thank you for saying thank you at Home Depot. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but unless you giving me groceries,
buy you a cup of coffee.
That's what I'm saying. Buy them a coffee. I don't drink coffee.
That military discount is getting old, huh?
Let me get you a cup of coffee. Appreciate you.
If someone made me the discount, it's the recognition.
Get
like
a free hash brown at my house.
Do you have a military discount? Oh no, we keep the sign up year round though. We don't take it down. You know what I mean? So to me, you always put your maximum effort in. I don't care what it is you're doing, right? I put my maximum effort in putting on my boots every morning. Look at that knife. That boy clean. So I just go where the value is. For example, what T was talking about, cutting down trees. We all had sidebars, about it. And we were like, man, we've done some of the craziest things that could have done like serious harm to our bodies as dads because we cutting down trees or trying to snake a main drain or try to save on a service connection fee. What? Right? Because you want to put out maximum effort, but when you look at the value of what you're putting out, T's not gonna cut trees, Jay's never gonna snake another pipe, and I'm not hooking up any more generators, right? So I don't know. Now, as an employer, I'm looking for the cat that is trying to do 10 times his job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you're bringing, I always tell my guys, I tell them 2 things. I said, when you come and you work with me, you can either stay on Sundays or I can pay you enough that you can eat chicken every day. And some of them catch that. A lot of them don't. That's on you, right? What I mean by that is you can make yourself affordable for me, because like I tell them, if I have to pay you 20, I have to make 60 because I'm paying you 20, my materials are 20, and then I got to make a profit, and you can't make more than the boss, right? Right. So we minimum 20. If there's no $60 here, there's nothing I can do with you.
There's no value.
There's no value. So if you can come in and give me 20 to where I can make 80, now I can keep you on a job every single day versus having you on one day to fix one lock. And that's where you get your value, is in the longevity, right? CeeLo said, I think out of all of us, he's been with his company the longest, 16 years. That means they're doing something for him that he says, okay, this is fair, right? This is fair. This is equitable. So I think as an employer, all of us are, looking for the person who's shining and that we can still afford to pay. And unfortunately, like I said, I don't have much experience on the other side because, you have to give your all, especially because if you don't give your all in a military exercise, I mean, I'm sure Jay knows from talking to his son, you putting a person to your left, your right, your front, and your rear, at risk. So you have to be on at all times. So you give it.
No, I think what it boils down to, man, it really, when you talk about the value, And because like some people may see it as a value add, and some people may see it as I'm being overworked. So like Corey said, that's why you have some people like, man, I ain't finna go in or I ain't finna stay late. That ain't my job. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more so a mindset, because on one hand, you look at one person looks at it as an opportunity, while the other person look at it as an obligation. So
Word.
Facts.
it's like no, I get to do this because I know I'm about to provide value. Like I'm about to take this opportunity and I'm about to wax deep and I'm gonna blow it out the water. The other person, like, man, I'm obligated
Not
to do
me.
this. So it's just a different. It's just I think it's more so about the mindset. But at the end of the day, you're still. It's almost like you need people at every level, though. You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
because
You absolutely do.
everybody can't be a boss, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Everybody ain't gonna be management material. Everybody ain't gonna be the CEO. Everybody ain't gonna be the president. Everybody's not gonna be an entrepreneur. So it was like you have to take, the good with the bad, because like you said, you may be at the bottom of the totem pole and doing the grunt work, but you're getting paid the less. Or I can be the CEO, but at the same time, when budget cuts or the company ain't performing well, who's the first to get cut?
Right.
So it's like you're taking on more risk, opposed to the person at the bottom, but more risk comes with more reward. So it's, but like I said,
True.
you gotta have everybody at every level to make this thing work.
And the biggest thing is, you know, be real with yourself. All right. And I don't mean that to be rude, but if you know somebody else can do your job, then don't go asking for a raise. Like T is saying, if you know right now when the fry machine go down, Bruce can get that boy back up in 38 seconds. Versus,
Bruce is
Jay.
valuable.
Yeah, Bruce is valuable. Yeah. Versus Jay that's like, hey boss, we ain't got no fries. What do you
What you want me to do?
what you want me to do? I mean, so can I clock out? Because we ain't got no fries.
And the shake machine down.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Because I'm on shakes. That's what I do. That's all I do, shakes. You know what I mean? So being able to, like you say, to do that. So we have to be real with ourselves too. You know what I mean? I know there's certain things I don't put roofs on. So when my roofer gives me a bid, absolutely, man. And you let me know when it's done, and I'll pay you Cash App, Venmo, Cat, because you just have to be, you have to have that check with yourself to say, yeah, this is fair. Because like I said, I mean, I know T-Rail to murder the game forever. And when he disclosed to us, he's never asked for a raise. I was like, well, how did you get more money then? Like, what do you do? But
nah.
you don't wrestle? Was this the bar bet that somebody loved? I don't.
I think but I think T-Well did it the way that Corey was talking about. Like if you don't ask for a raise, like sometimes you don't know your true value until it's time to chuck the deuces.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you may not say done, but like Corey says, like, okay, well, this is what I've done. This is what this other company is offering me to do the same thing I'm doing here.
Mm.
Well,
Okay.
actually, sometimes less.
So what y'all want to do? Because obviously because that's how you call a company's bluff. It's like, okay, well, they don't see my value, so instead of complaining about it, then bust a move then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I think that's the
because
best thing.
that's what T-Rail has done all this time.
Oh yeah.
It's like since the brag book. It was like, okay, well, let me see what I can get.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's not about being disgruntled. I think if you go into those conversations, and I've had this conversation with some colleagues, like, man, we not getting paid enough, da 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 da, and I'm like, well, I don't think you need to go with that energy.
Because that's not gonna get you what you want.
It's not gonna get you what you want. So it's like, like you said, you can easily pull out the brag book or say, this is what I'm working on. This is my plan for the year and the next year. And so, as we talk about compensation, I'm asking for this, or this is where I would like to be. And it's a yes or no. It ain't even no like, no, I just need a yes or no. And then you go from there. You lead with that energy. And then, if they value you, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, man, they done said something now. So we can't lose this person. So now let's make them happy. Let's show them monetarily, at least let's make them a little bit happier or close. Let's get them closer to where they want to be. And I can speak, I mean, personally, like, I haven't been in that situation, but I know my wife, she has moved around some different gigs. And then recently, like, same thing, kind of like what Jay was talking about, where, wasn't really seeing, that she didn't feel like she was being valued. Like, she said, well, maybe this isn't the place. And then somebody approached her out of the blue because they knew her work ethic. They knew what she could do. And it was like, oh, here. They was like, they dumped, they opened the floodgates. They was like, yep, that's yours. You're going to be this. You're going to have this, da-da-da-da. And it was like, man, everything she had already had expressed at her, gig. And she was like, man, this is a great offer. So I think I'm going to have to put in this notice. And then when the notice came, they was like, hold the phone. And that's not even going to, don't even worry about that. Let me make a call. It was that simple.
Yeah.
So tell me this,
because the work spoke for, itself.
In that situation, Corey, tell me this. So do you, when somebody is opening up the floodgates for you and saying, okay, we're going to give you everything that you want, and then you go back to your employer who has not been doing that, and then all of a sudden somebody else wants to give you everything, now they're like, okay, well, let me make a few calls. Like, why don't you do that from the very beginning? Like, do you still stay with that company? Because it's like, okay, now they want to meet my, not necessarily demands or whatever,
but now they see me.
Yeah. They see you and they literally hear you because you're putting them on notice. Like, ain't nothing personal. This is business, and this is about my career. This is about my opportunities, and especially if you've had that conversation. I know with my wife and her situation, it was brought up like multiple times on these check-ins, and oh yeah, we gon' so you kind of get, I think they're not in a rush to give you more money all the time. It's like, oh yeah, we got to go through this process and we submitted it and you on this list. They try to hit you with things like up and coming riser, the little fancy names.
Yeah, we got you on a different trajectory.
Yeah, we got you on this list. We're going to put you in this program. We're going to invest here. You want to take this course. So yeah, they got these ways to kind of, give you these carrots. And then I think when you finally say, look, I appreciate the opportunity. It was beautiful here. I'm going to take this nice little coaster that y'all gave me with me. I got to roll. So yeah, what happened in my wife's situation is that it was a great organization. It is a great organization, but it's a mammoth, right? So it's like, I think that her voice wasn't being heard. And once you get to that decision maker or the right person understands, that's like your car quitting. Like, it's saying the oil light is on. You need oil, son. And then you go in there, you didn't listen. But if you're smart, you're going to listen to the mechanic or you're going to listen to those signs and you're going to put oil on that boy before, 12,000 miles. Like, you ain't going to wait for it to quit on you. Correct. And that's the thing. So somebody going to make a decision quick. So I think it really depends on what you want, for your career. If you were a great company, a great organization that you love what you do, and they're willing to compensate you more, that's a no-brainer. Like, yeah, I don't have to start all over. I don't have to build anything from scratch. Like, yeah, I can keep doing what I'm doing. And I know I still got room to grow here. It's just that somebody literally, put money on the table. So it's like, we got to have this conversation.
And sometimes
skin in the game.
Yeah. Sometimes in those situations, the message did have to get to the right person. And I can say that in my experience and in my world, sometimes those things don't reach me until we have to make that decision. Like, hold on, we about to lose who? What? Why didn't y'all say something 3 months ago when she was telling y'all she was, but people try to make sense. They try to solve the problem before it gets to the next level.
Because the company is that big.
Yeah, it's like, well, I thought we had more time or something like that, but no, some folks you just know, like, you just got to take care of them. And that's when the leader got to step in and say, look, it just hit me, whatever. It don't matter how long it took or what happened before now. All I know is once this hit my desk, we knew we had to take care of this. So
I love that, T, because I've seen a couple of people leave. And there's somebody leaving my company now that I think has tremendous value. And it's like, I don't know exactly what happened, but only in my mind, I can imagine that someone again came to the table, was like, yo, we see you. You know what I'm saying? This is what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And then you go back and you had a conversation like, hey, what Jimmy Fox saying, Ray? Can you match it? and you remember that moment, like, that guy did not want to lose Ray. He didn't want to lose Ray, but he taught him to be a good businessman, to make quality music. And when he got the next best offer, it was in his best interest to say, "This is where we part ways." And it's nothing personal. It's just it's business. It's your career.
Yeah,
Correct.
So it's like T said, if someone can't come in and be like, no, that's I don't care what's the number, make it happen.
yeah.
And if you can't do that, which I mean, I'm not a CEO or president, but it kills me when you talk about $1 billion corporations and they be like, I don't know if we can stretch 250.
Yeah. But
know.
there is somebody at that company that can say, look, tell me your number.
There you go.
That's how much
Correct.
tell me your number. And then let me do what I need to do with that. Because there are people that, I mean, I got people on my team that I value that much. And look, just tell me what it's going to take. I don't know. We don't
$13 an hour.
Let's not negotiate. You want to do fries for 13?
Yeah. 15 boxes.
but seriously, man, you gotta show people that their value in ways. It's so difficult. Like as an employer, you can never, I always tell folks, never assume that the paycheck is enough to keep people. But you can't miss on the paycheck either.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say too, man, because some of my guys that work for me, man, one dude just want to be told he does a good job, right? Versus me just coming in and pointing out what we need to do next. He's like, what do you think of this man? It's like my kid. Like, you murdered it. Can we get to the next? You know what I mean? And I got another guy. He just wants to work by himself. So just him being able to work by himself, nobody bother. I don't got to pay him nothing else. But when he gets to another job site and there's more people, so like I said, you just got to know your people, man. And if they're bringing value, you do whatever it is. Because no, I don't want to pay you $30 an hour. But if you're happy at 20 on your own, we're gonna find something for you. Because I promise you.
Well, people will leave because, I mean, I've been in corporate America for a minute, but people will leave because of leadership faster than they leave for money.
Yep. He doesn't care about me.
Oh,
I'm a number.
Way more frequently. I think I read an article and it was like the top 3 reasons people leave, and number 1 was conflict. Conflict with a leader or with a coworker, and then second was the lack of development, and third was money.
See, like you said, to that first point, you think about it, and I saw a stat on this too. You spend more time with the people you work with than you do your own family, especially if you 9 to 5.
Correct.
8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes more. So you're not, you kiss your kids goodbye in the morning, you see them, a couple hours at night, and maybe on the weekend, but you go to work every day.
Yep.
Facts.
So it's like if you don't value the people you work with, you can't trust the people you work with, it's gonna be very hard to stay. Even if you're about to cuss Teresa out, I'm about to cuss.
You're like, why am I doing this?
Hey, before we wrap up, I want to go around the horn. We kind of talked about the job places and all that. So let's go with your worst job. What was your worst job? And if you want to say your favorite job, you can say that too. But what was your worst? What was your best / favorite? It could be, you was working at QD. I don't know, because you got the free ice cream. I don't know. You're saying whatever.
Man, I would say worst job, and I haven't had that many jobs, but I would say worst job was the couple of days I worked in Lansing at this place called Dimmer Corporation.
Shout out to Dimmer.
Like
it's like a factory, ain't it?
It was a factory,
Yeah.
Straight factory job. I wasn't built for it. It was cold. I don't even know what part we was welding and working on. Man, I just left.
Wow. Wait. When did you leave? Like you was in the middle of a shift?
Lunched. It was like lunchtime. Like, no, I'm not coming back.
You left for lunch and never came back.
So here's what happened. I got cut on my hand doing some stuff, and it was like, you got to go do go see the doctor or whatever, get the little checkup. I'm like, man, I'm not about to do all this. I ain't even coming back.
I'm good.
I just left. I ain't come back. Like, yep, wow. I'm done.
That's pretty bad. Do you have a favorite position?
Favorite job?
Company or
companies? It would be hard for me to say that without, I have to. I gotta pay respect to all, because like you said, I respect the journey. So every position taught me something along the way, and I worked for some
Good answer.
some
Good answer.
really
Let's
good
sit on the
companies.
board.
Some really good companies, and I still have relationships in all of those companies that I value, right?
No doubt.
But I would say my best job and my favorite job was my first job at Flawless, man. Sweeping hair, answering phones, getting shoe money, dog, in high school. That was my favorite job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, see if they hiring, bro.
Right. I'll do that job right now.
You ain't gonna have nowhere to live, but good job.
We'll be all right.
Have fun though. All right. What about you, Jay?
Man, so my best job, my favorite job had to be Hot Now. Hot Now was it, baby. Me, Corey, Chop. I think it was just because I had 2 jobs prior to that. I worked at Steak and Shake and I worked at Fazoli's. But man, when we worked at Hot Now, I was like, it's like I kind of felt like I knew the game a little bit. That's why I was able to talk to the manager the way I was talking to him and get Corey a job.
Jay was the manager without being the manager.
I was like, yeah, I was the unofficial assistant manager. So, but it was just dope, just being in there, man, kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Free food. I ain't got no bills. My check going to me. You know what I'm saying? What we was like, what, 16, 17?
Yeah, I think it was like our junior year.
Our junior year?
That
Yes, that was my favorite job.
And what we was making like what, $6 an hour?
We thought it was free food.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we was making like what? Yeah, probably like $6.
Exactly.
Minimum wage was like $5.25.
No, we had making more
these
than
kids
that.
are rich.
Because
maybe
I think
7.
that was either before or after we
was.
worked at American Red Cross.
Yeah, so I think we was probably making about $8 an hour. We was probably up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
my worst job had to be Waffle House. Had to
that
be.
was rough.
But here's the deal. It was the worst job, but it taught me the most.
You learn business.
I learned business from Waffle House.
Mm.
I learned how
Respect.
to train. I learned how
Fire
to do
people.
P&Ls. Yeah, fire people. I learned food cost. The whole 9, man.
The journey.
And you know, scattered some other covered chunk. You know what I'm saying? I had to wear the little sleeve so I ain't get the, you know what I'm saying, the grease burns on me. That was a rough job. But like I said, yeah, I wouldn't take anything from it though, because I learned a lot.
A restaurant manager at a Waffle House is on call, on duty 24 hours a day.
24/7. Wow. I remember we got a bus. It was on a Tuesday night because we would only pull so much from the commissary based on last year's sales.
Yeah.
So most of our stuff on the Waffle House, you know, clubs, you know, Saturday morning, Saturday night clubs, Sunday morning church. That's all where all the money came from. On a Tuesday night, a bus decided to show up. So I only pulled out 1 box of bacon. They called me at 2 a.m. It was like, yo, Jay, we ain't got no more bacon.
Can you bring some bacon?
So ain't no assistant managers at Waffle House. Maybe now, but when no assistant man, was me and everybody else who's just either a server or a cook. Wow. So I get up out of my bed, go through the back door, unlock the commissary, pull out a big box of bacon, sit on the back, get back in my car, call them because I don't want to talk to nobody. Hey, the bacon's on the back shelf. Because I can't miss the money because my performance of that restaurant, you know what I'm saying, is directly tied to my commission, to my food cost. Like I'm like T-Rail said, I'm vested in that restaurant. It was my restaurant.
Word.
Yeah.
There it is. What about you, B. Hicks?
Oh, hands down, man. The best job I ever had was delivering pizza for Papa Leo's on the South Side.
You delivered pizzas?
Yeah, that was the best job ever. Yo, you know how many cold pizzas arrive at people's house? I'm stopping over at Arbor Point, chilling with them. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna go up Glenburn. You know,
so you saying you weren't delivering the pizzas hot?
I'm saying the pizzas got delivered.
This cat Bruce.
Guys in the world, man. Yo, it was no responsibility, man. Like, y'all gotta remember too. This is when gas was like, everybody was saying 88, 99 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And a tip, you getting $3-4 to deliver. That was the best job ever. I'll go back today if I have a lot of bills. Right? A lot of people depending on me now.
They need drivers now.
No, but it's too much responsibility. You got the Noid tracker. You got all this. I'll be there when I get there.
Oh, the game has changed. Trust me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now you got competition, Uber, this, that. No, they wouldn't have me. So yeah, that was the best job ever. And then I would think my worst job was working for the state of Michigan. That was the worst job.
Had to get up out of there.
Worst job.
So my thing is, who was your manager? Because that sounds like who you really had a problem with.
Nah, no, and it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that cat. Like I got no beef. You know what I'm saying? Like his name was Malachi. Young.
Why you know his name?
Yeah, no, like I said, we chopped it up. He was cool people, but it's just a small-minded mentality that I dealt with. You're talking about people. You got to remember, like when you're young and you come into a spot.
Bruce.
Well, first off, I negotiated my salary up. And I don't know how somebody found out about it, but I negotiated my salary up to like someone who, but it's based on the resume we talked about. So they were already mad about that. And then, bruh, you talking
like
about
this whole state running wrong. Y'all doing it.
You should run for mayor. Man, forget here in Washington.
Why are we doing it this way?
Oh man.
Sorry.
All right, we got it. We got it. Don't dwell on that. Don't dwell on that, son.
Now you see my plight. They was running it wrong, man.
The whole state.
They was like, Bruce, we don't think that's a good idea. All right, I quit.
Then y'all don't value me.
State of Michigan.
I need David Ruffin. David Ruffin don't need y'all. Like that's how it was. So nah, man, and that was a job that I just never went back to. Kind of like T-Rail. I just left.
Wow,
just did.
That's crazy.
That cat's killing me. Just quitting with no 2 week notice. Y'all just burning bridges.
Oh man,
because I don't plan on going back that way. I ain't burning bridge.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going back to the factory.
I wasn't going back over there. The day I worked for the state of Michigan, yeah. Matter of fact, they probably won't even take me back, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, you still on the do not hire list.
Oh, he on the list.
I am the list. Like there is no other list.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
What about you, CeeLo?
Best
Other than
job.
Sam,
Man,
that's where you
we
met.
said best job, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's tough. It's tough, man, because I relish some of those early gigs, like with Jay. You know what I'm saying, working with the fellas. Let me just talk about this hiding out thing, because Jay ain't really. He said what he said. Yo, let me tell you how I got the job of hiding out. Jay was like, man, come on, we gonna get this job, man. We walk up in there, and it was this tall white dude named Kevin. He had to be like 7 feet, and hiding out had. His office was like the kitchen, like where we wash dishes. So the sink is behind him. His knees is in his chest because he's sitting at his little desk. I walk up in there with Jay, was like, hey, Kevin, what's up? Hey, this is my man Corey. You gonna hire him?
he work here now.
$9.50. He work here. Put him on the schedule. Dude, this man didn't even look up. He was like, okay. I was like, that's it. I didn't interview. I could have been anybody. This man told the manager, that's my boy. He good. Put him on the schedule. And then to some of the things that happened at that job, I ain't gonna go into all that, but it was hilarious. So it was fun, the fun that it had. But
hey, remember we used to trade food with Taco Bell right across the parking lot?
We trading food, we trading tacos, olive burgers, whatever you want, man. We out here living raw.
Y'all had some funny cats in there. I remember us hitting the drive-through with y'all working over at that boy. And
Bubba,
remember my man with the.
Man, let me just tell you something. So what happened was the guy
Out the back of the hat?
The guy that hired us ended up leaving. I don't know what happened to him. So they brought in the new manager, this older black woman, and obviously she was like the queen hide now because she wasn't having it. She came in there and she was like, y'all gonna grow in here. We gonna learn. Everybody gonna learn every position. Me and Jay was good because we could do everything. We could do fries, burgers, whatever you want. We was
good.
We was good. But it was people in there that only did one thing. And we found out real quick why. Because let's just say they had limited skills. But it was a guy that worked the cash register. She put that man on food. Bro, that boy threw a conniption. I don't work. I don't do this what I do. Man, it was bad. Yeah, and we had Ronald Isley in there with the ponytail working the burgers. No, not even the burgers. So Hot Now had a station where they warmed the buns. They toasted the buns. This is all this man did.
He slid the buns.
He slid it real gently. He had his little nails did. Had a manicure.
He had a whole little system.
Bruh.
Man, she put that man on the grill. That man was over there sweating the wig out or the little ponytail one. It was bad for him, son. But yeah, so I love all those, high school experiences because it was more fun than work. Because we was just always looking for like the next dollar extra, hot now. We did Red Cross. We did all this stuff. But yeah, I think really for me it'd be a tie between, where I'm at now with Western Union Financial Services, just because it's been a blessing. Since I got out of college, excuse me. And then
Jay still can't let it go.
Yeah. And then Sam's Club too, because I learned a lot about business, because I wasn't even like, that's what I went to school for, but I was a floor supervisor, got to, bust my chops in a little bit there. And I met my wife at Sam's Club. So it was always a blessing. Worst job, I would have to say I worked at Boston Market. This was a horrible experience because no one ate at Boston Market.
Yeah, but Boston Market has some fire cornbread though.
We used to take all the cornbread. I worked it with Haji, so trust me.
Oh man,
we was taking a lot of food.
Now I know why it closed down.
But I remember working there because it was me, Haji, and I believe it was Maisha Irvin. Y'all remember Maisha?
Yes, yes, I do.
Maisha was like the assistant manager or manager. She was running the joint, but I remember working there. And it was only 3 people. So it's like I was cooking all the food. And I was like, yo, this ain't fair. It's a lot of ovens back. Like in the back, it's a lot of ovens to keep the food warm. So I remember rushing. They needed like them apples, the warm apples. Yo, I ended up going in and the joint spilled on my arm and almost like burned my arm. I was like, I quit. I'm done. Ain't no way, man. Y'all got my back here sweating, making apples and stuff.
Ain't worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh my gosh.
That was a horrible experience. I listened to Haji like, man, no, I'm telling you, man, we gonna go and he ain't gonna do nothing. I was like, yeah, but y'all got me working for a lot of nothing. I'm tell you that.
I go back to hot now for this.
Haji, he started a job and not show up. He come in when he want to. So I was going as the schedule dictated. Haji going when he felt like it. I was like, I don't know how this works, but it works.
You got to be Haji.
Yeah, got to be.
Shout out to the boy Haji, man. Hey, that was in the books. That was a beautiful discussion about worth and value. I think the takeaway is the journey, and making sure you getting something out of it, and that's where the true value is. So, until next time.
Do it for you.
Until next time. I'm C. Nick, T. Reed, B. Hicks, Jay Norris. This is Everything Podcast, where we give you everything that you need and nothing that you don't. And that's on everything.
That's on everything. This is Everything Podcast. What the hell?
Yeah, my bad, Shay. That's on everything.
Right. Yo,
this is Everything show.
Japan
That
show
is on everything.
right.